Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Market opens up in about 3 minutes. Real quick, when I say live, what I mean is that this is not a situation where I've already recorded everything and now I'm coming back and explaining what's already happened. So this is not a trade recap. This is not some sort of post commentary. I'm recording myself, seeing the information for the very first time. In other words, I don't know what's coming next. So if you just want an unscripted, raw, nitty gritty look into what it's like to be a day trader, how day trading can play out, then this will be a video for you. So I will go ahead and pause for now and I'll be back at the open. All right, the markets are open and I'm watching 390. Wow, look at that. Watching 396, that white line, look right where it bounced off of. Crazy, crazy stuff. So let's see if the price can stay above that area though for a while. I'm not going to trade this on the first minute. I can't remember. Did I mention what stock I'm even looking at? If you're not familiar with my screen, MRNA. So let's see if this thing wants to maybe bounce up first and then come back down. Like I said, definitely don't want to trade this one the first minute. Maybe not even the first couple minutes. Just want to see what sort of pattern and such it decides to form here. But yeah, 396 is an important level and amazing how it just bounced right. Well, not amazing. I can't say I'm shocked by it. But 398.50. Okay, let's see if this thing wants to go green and then potentially come down to 398.50. $398.50. Flush point 1 minute. Well, and there it goes right now. I guess in hindsight, I should have bought at the white line, huh? That's a pretty big move, though, so I'm going to reduce position size because based on where my stop loss would potentially have to be. Yeah, wow, even. Yeah, that candle really throws off the setup now. If you do hear typing, that's just me making alerts in my private trading community. Yeah. Well, I could now start to work that way up. What is that, 400? 400, 403. Yeah. I'm going to update. MRNA update. 400 flush point. 1 minute. Well, this thing just keeps on working its way up at this point. All right, well, I will go ahead. Am I even recording? I am recording. Okay, good. I will go ahead and pause for now, and if a setup, whether on this one or something else comes along, then I'll get the video rolling. Well, never mind. Maybe 400 coming into play here. So watching 400 closely. Maybe 400. $50. Did I miss it? Because I want to. Oh, I missed it. That white order right there means I submitted it to the market, but I didn't get filled. No, no. And look at it go. Well, at least members had the chance at it. Look at that. Right back down to 3. Oh, I totally missed that. Again, as I showed you, the white box that was right there because I canceled the order, that showed that I had submitted it to the market. I just didn't get filled on it. All right, still potential, but I need to really reduce now because it's super sketchy down at this area. So in at 396. So I need to see this thing either continue to plunge, or I gotta, let's see, what is that? 398 will be the stop. So I need this down at 394 before I can even think of taking profits on it. Oh, there we go. Very nice. Can we get down below 394? There we go. Maybe a little bit more can I get? Yes, I can. So there we go. Still so bitter that I missed that initial one. Let's see if it wants to come down below 393. I mean, I'm grateful to be making money on it, but it should be so much more right now. All right, I gotta get out here. If it goes up over 3, yep. All right, so just out, so 79 bucks. I mean, I'm happy for it. Grateful to have a winning trade, but I mean, just so I mean, right there in my chat room, mRNA update 400. Whoops, mRNA 400 flush point. You saw me go for it, and I missed it, and then the thing dropped. I don't know, basically $7. Now I am definitely I'm in a very fragile mental mindset now because I'm not even going to try to play it off. That one stings. That one stings a whole lot. And I realized, well, Clay, you could have made more. Why did you only do 50 shares? Because that was a pretty relatively high-risk trade there because it had made quite a bit of a move. Still liked it at that 396 area. And I was risking $2. I got $2, a little bit more than $2 on my first profit. And then, of course, you saw it bounce back up on me. But regardless, yeah, I might need to just call it good here because, like I said, I'm quite frustrated with myself. So I got to be very careful that I don't go and like force a trade or do something silly. So, all right. I'm going to pause for now. I'm not going to totally commit to being done, but I am going to be very aware that my mental state right now is definitely a bit shaky because, like I said, for the reasons discussed, that one's got me a little irritated at myself, and I should be. Let me put it this way. I guess not as irritated, and yeah, I'm just talking to myself right now because at least I tried. So it would have been 10 times worse that I watched her and then done nothing, and then be like, wow. I was right and I didn't even try to get in. What was I thinking? But I guess maybe, or does it make it worse that I tried to get in and then I missed it? So I don't know. But right now, as you can see, and that's what I said, these are live videos. So this is literally happening right now. I am giving you my raw, unfiltered thoughts. So welcome to the world, the mentally challenging world of being a trader. So I don't mean to sound like a crazy person, but trading, we have, or traders have voices in their head. And if you've never traded with real money, you probably don't quite understand, but we do. And I'm just identifying the voice right now, trying to be aware of them. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for now and I'll take a look around. I have an order at 118 for 500 shares. So still a couple of dollars away, but this one can move relatively quickly. So I don't think $2 is as far as away as it may appear. We'll see if it wants to drop down a bit further. And now it's bouncing, so maybe a never mind on this one. Again, I do have a fishing bobber out in the water right there, represented by the white order. So it's been submitted to the market, but again, I'm only willing to buy at 118, which is why nothing is happening with it. Whereas the first order I put in, I was trying to get in, but it passed the price, so I wasn't able to get in. But yeah, if this thing wants to come back down, then I'll get the video rolling. But as of now, that's the only thing I'm really kind of looking at. Watching 388.50 right now on mRNA. Just 50 shares because at this point, I very well could be mentally uneasy right now. And in the event that I am, in other words, if this is not actually a good trade, which it looks to be a very good trade if I can get 3 at 850, and I'm wrong though with 50 shares. So I'm in there, not gonna, cost me anything crazy. Now, could I maybe, yes, potentially go red? I could, but is it going to be like some sort of massive amount of red? Absolutely not. And I could be looking to add to the trade if this thing wants to get down through right around 387.75. So potentially look to add to a winner here. If it wants to come down. Yeah, I got to see the break of 388 if I'm even going to think about adding. Because maybe this is getting ready to bounce off that trend line again. Making a move. And watching 388-ish area. Hanging right around that area. Oh, wow. Well, moved too fast, left me behind. But that is okay. So I'll look to get 387 at least is what I got to get for the risk and reward and all that good stuff to make sense. Ideally, if I can get a little bit more than 387, that would be fantastic. In fact, let's see if I can do that here. So let's see a nice break of 387. And then there we go. Can I get some more? Let's let it, see if we can get some momentum to kick in here. There we go. Could I get even an entire dollar more? Maybe so. Nice. Come on, give me a dollar more. How nice would that be? I just wanted 387, potentially getting an entire dollar more. There we go. Even more. Fantastic. All right. Excellent. Got an entire dollar more than what I was even wanting for my first profit. Yeah, now I'll still have 25 shares left. Let's see if this thing can get down to 384 would be fantastic. Again, in hindsight, Clay, why didn't you do more shares? I'm with you, but you got to play it safe when you're a little mentally unknown. And like you heard me say, I was pretty sure it was a good trade. And yeah, I was right. It was a good trade, but you just don't know what happens if I'm not quite mentally with it. And that was actually a terrible trade setup. Well, at least I was only taking a terrible trade setup with 50 shares. But now in hindsight, yeah, I get it. Well, no, Clay, you're actually right. So that's just that's just the tricky part of the markets is you got to always be aware of what's your mental makeup. And if you're a little unsure, then okay, reduce position size at that point. Now, if you're sure that you're completely fine and you're not lying to yourself, then fine, keep normal position size. But if you're unsure, which I was, then just reduce position size. Or if you know for sure, like, no, I'm mentally not good to be trading, then you shouldn't be trading at all. Can we get the break of 385? But yeah, there's no doubt about it. Now the voices have shown up that said, Clay, why don't you do more? Can I get 384 here? How nice would that be? In fact, at this point, I'm just going to do this. If it goes up over 386, I'll get out. But other than that, I'm going to let this thing ride. Let's just let this ride and let's see how far down it goes. So if it breaks down through 384, then at that point, if it goes up over, no, I'm sorry, still watching 386 right now. There we go. This gets down below 383, then it'll be 385 that I'm watching. So again, got to see this break down below 383. All right, wow, quite the bounce there. Goes up over 386, got to be out. Quite the bounce here. Can I weather the storm though? All right, well, out there, Clay, why don't you just get out when it was way down there? Well, in hindsight, yeah, I should have. But what happens if this thing kept bleeding? You'd be saying, well, Clay, why did you get out then? You could have let it. You could have made more. And you're right. That's good old hindsight for you. But not too bad. $206 on reduced position size. And, oh, again, just, hey, Clay, how does the chat room work? Right here, check this out. Right there. mRNA 1 minute trend line that I'm watching, posted the image of it. You saw me play that. You saw me play the trend line. Now, did other members play it that way? That's up to them. But as far as, how does the chat room work? There's another classic example of it. Wow, look at that big spike there. But hopefully members played it with bigger size than I did. But like I said, I was just in a different mental state than what other members would have been. And that's just unfortunate. But, that's just the reality of the markets is it's a very mental game. You need to acknowledge to yourself that it's a mental game. And if, if you feel yourself and I already mentioned this, but I want to mention it again, just to make it very clear, if you're unsure, reduce position size, right? If you're not quite, I don't know, am I still mentally capable of trading? I think I am, but maybe I'm not. Reduce position size. Don't care. Reduce position size. If you're sitting there saying, no, I am a train wreck right now, my mental state is all out of whack, then you are done trading. Or if you can sit there and truly say to yourself, truly look in the mirror and be like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. Then cool. Keep on trading. Full position size, change nothing. But you always got to be aware. And especially for us guys, get in touch with your feelings. But as traders, you got to be able to get in touch with your feelings, right? And if your feelings are like, I don't quite know, then you better reduce position size. And you saw what caused me to that. I mean, think about it. Now, by no means am I saying I would have played it perfectly or anything like that, but I think about it, $400. And then the thing has now dropped down to $384. I mean, that's a $16 move. Again, I'm not saying I would have gotten all $16 points from it, but I mean, what a crazy move. And I was too slow, and you saw me be too slow. And then you saw the mental kind of breakdown. So yes, I definitely did that wrong. So I don't sit here and preach. I clearly don't sit here and act like I got it all put together because I just missed a huge potential trade. But the one thing I did do right was at least I acknowledge, okay, all right, let's calm down, reduce position size. And I almost wish in kind of an educational way that one of those trades that I took would have gone against me. That way I would have been like, see what happens? I took a trade that didn't work out, and now I'm looking at a very small, modest loss as opposed to a big loss had I stayed at full position size. But of course, both trades worked, and now I'm quote unquote only sitting at $200. But I mean, still, it's 10 o'clock, $200 in 30 minutes. I mean, where do you make $200 in 30 minutes after sitting around pressing buttons? That's crazy. It's crazy. The market's trading is a crazy, crazy place. So I'm pretty sure I'm done, but I don't know. I almost kind of want to make a trade. See now I'm battling the YouTube voice, right? Because the voice. Okay, what can you do here for YouTube? But you can't. No offense to you as viewers. I love your support. I appreciate your support. I'm grateful for it. But I mean, I can't let YouTube videos dictate my trading strategy because that's just not good, right? But that's another dynamic of when you do YouTube videos, you have what I call the YouTube voice that's always out there trying to get you to make good voices or to do certain things that in most cases you should not be doing. But yeah, I will look for maybe another setup, but I'm going to get super high maintenance here, and I will only take any sort of setups that look good. And I could see myself raising up position size now just because I'm feeling better about myself, right? I got a couple winning trades. All right, I feel better. So maybe a little bit higher of position size here, but like I said, it's going to have to be, the only reason I would be willing to do that is because I'm feeling better. And also I now know that I'm going to be high maintenance. Like I'm going to be a snob now. I'm going to be a pattern snob. I want a super good setup. And if I don't get it, then oh well. All right, well, I've looked around enough, and if anything, I'm thinking about some sketchy setups. Once again, mRNA, was thinking about maybe trying to take this short again, which could work out, but I mean, it's already broken down several times before. So the odds that it breaks down again, of course it could happen, but the odds, it just doesn't seem to be as much in my favor as what I would like for it to be. So I'm just not going to take that trade. I was thinking about 380, and in fact, we can try a little mental exercise here. So 380 was that level that I was watching. And I'll go ahead and pause and, I'll let this play out. But I was thinking about going short at 380. And then my stop would have been 382-ish. So would need to see it get down to at least 378-ish. But I'll go ahead and pause. I realize this video is already pretty long, but, this will kind of be an interesting thing about, actually, no, because even if it does work, that's fine, because I'm not saying that it couldn't work. I'm just saying is I don't like the odds nearly as much of it working as I did when the price hadn't already broken down through lows several times before. So I guess as I think out loud, it really wouldn't prove anything other than the fact of, okay, yeah, an unlikely thing still managed to happen. But you don't want to be taking unlikely trades. You want to be taking likely trades. And like I said, I just don't feel as though I feel it's more likely to bounce then keep on going down. So, and if that's the case, well, then if anything, I should be thinking about going long right here. So on that note, I sound like a mad person, but you know what? I think that's why these videos are popular, is because I really do just let you into the mind of a trader. Well, there's 380. So I could have been in here right now, but again, like I said, I feel as though it's more likely to bounce than not. But who knows? Maybe this thing is just so bearish today that it'll once again break to new lows. But I just didn't feel comfortable. Didn't really like the odds of it happening. But let's see what it wants to do here. Like I said, my stop would have been right up around 382-ish. And I realized I said, well, there's really no point in watching this. But at this point, I can't help myself. Let's just see what would have actually happened here had I been actually taking the trade in a situation that I liked it, but I didn't like it enough. And then when I really thought about it, yeah, I mean, if I'm sitting here saying that I think it's more likely to bounce than go down, well, then I definitely actually didn't like it that much at all. But now I'm saying, I don't, let me know in the comment section. Should I just be wrapping up the video right now? Am I just dragging things out? I don't know. Maybe I am. I feel like there maybe is some value here just so we can kind of see how this played out from a mental standpoint and from a pattern perspective. But I do totally relate. No, Clay, I mean, I really don't care about this theoretical stuff. I just want to see real actual trading. And that's a fair point too. And there it goes. But I would have needed seen 378 for a profit target, which is looking like I'd be getting. All right. Well, I guess it just goes to show that sometimes a downtrend can keep on being in a downtrend. So there it went. And that's just, I don't know. All you can do is really laugh at that. But I still would not have taken that trade. I just don't take trades like this. Broken down way too many times. So to think that it would break down yet again, yeah, there does reach that point where it's like, okay, yeah, you've broken down enough times. At least at some point you got to think that's going to just get choppy and go sideways. But yeah, I did ultimately get that wrong. Had I taken it, I would have had a profit target, been able to pull some off as a partial fill, and then could have let the rest work for me. But it is what it is. So overall, though, in a bizarre way, I'm actually pretty fired up about this video, because this is, I get it. I'll be the first to admit it's fun to post videos where I'm making huge amounts of money, and these big amounts of money are coming in relatively small amounts of time. I mean, those are great videos to throw up on YouTube, but these ones probably not as most attractive from a title perspective. But as far as what actually matters in trading is not the big winners. It's just what you saw happen here. I missed something, got super frustrated, but at least in my defense, I realized I was super frustrated, and you saw how I dealt with it, and you saw how things, played out from that point. So just realize that it's actually a game of emotion. It's a game of psychology. And as I mentioned earlier, you better get in touch with your feelings and then know how to deal with those feelings. And for me, if you're unsure about yourself, reduce position size. If you know that you're just out of whack and you're an emotional train wreck, you're done trading. Or if you can sit there and be like, no, I'm still good. I'm fine. Okay. Well, then keep on trading at that point, normally with normal position size. So overall, though, I'm going to wrap this up. If you do enjoy these live trade videos, then please let me know by hitting that like button, leaving a comment down below. Also, if you do want to join my private community that you saw some examples of, just go to claytrader.com/team, TEAM. Again, claytrader.com/team, TEAM, and you can learn more about that service there. But like I said, if you enjoy the live trade videos, because they are very difficult to make, I have to talk to you. I have to think for myself. I have to think about trades. I have to think about what I'm going to make alerts. I have to type up those alerts. So there's a lot going on, but they're doable. They're possible. But I want to just make sure that they continue to be worth the time and effort. So if you enjoy them, communicate that to me by hitting the like button and then leaving a basic comment, even if it's just saying hi. Any number of your choosing, a smiley face, any of those communicates to me that you enjoy them. As long as I know that there's enjoyment, I will continue to do them. So thank you for watching, and remember, get out there and get in touch with your feelings. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.